just got a burst of something. Burst of energy. That sounds
What
so weird.
did you just say?
I'm losing it.
Welcome back, everyone. You're greeted by two pretty hungover girls in their 30s today.
Yeah. And I was saying to Meg and to our guest today, I just haven't stopped moving since I got up. Like I've done 2 loads of laundry. I made myself a big breakfast. I like put away some clothes. And I just feel like if I don't stop, my hangover can't like catch me.
Find you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken a very different approach. I've been horizontal the whole morning. I actually had pizza for breakfast, which is a pretty new low.
But you gotta do what you gotta do. I prepared. I knew I was gonna
Gotta
come
do
be
what you gotta
hungover,
do.
so I bought bacon and eggs, and I was like, I know I'm gonna want this tomorrow.
Yeah, that's super smart. Also,
Yeah.
that's great that you didn't order in. Good for you. No
Yeah, I know. I'm
McDonald's.
really trying. Really trying.
Good for you. I'm about to order in a burger.
Brilliant. I have leftover bacon, and I'm gonna make a BLT with a bagel.
Yum.
Yeah. But anyways, hi guys, welcome back to It's Cool Us Too.
Hi.
We literally have a brain cell between the two of us that's working today.
We're struggle city right now.
But we're not going to take up too much of your time. We will get right into the episode, but I just have to say, because I haven't played golf that much this summer, and I just need to talk about my golf tournament yesterday, which is like
important.
One of my favorite days of the year, because it's a golf tournament that my friend and her husband host. So it's like, it's just good times. And there's a bunch of guys teams that play, and then there's 3 foursomes of girls. And we all like have like matching outfits for our team, or we like decorate our cart.
You were in pink, right?
Yeah, we're called the Parbies.
Adorable. Oh, very adorable.
Yes, we had like pink all over our cart. We had a bunch of naked Barbies everywhere. We had signs that said, "Come on, Parby, let's go party," all over the sign. And we just had like a really fun day. Like there's lots of dancing, there's music, across everything. We play best ball, and we played better than we've ever played in this tournament. I'm so proud of us. And I sunk some like very good putts, and I am not a good putter. So like,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think we've talked about this on the podcast, but Nicole is very good at golf, guys. Like,
well, it's all relative, but
it's attractive. It's attractive. It's really cool.
Sometimes it's moments of brilliance, and sometimes I question my own sanity for picking up a stick and a ball. But hey, here we are. But my big achievement yesterday was, we came in within 2 points of the other team, which was amazing. But I also won closest to the pin. And there's a guys one and a girls one, but it's all in the same hole. But I got closer than any of the guys did even. So from my tee shot, which is amazing.
You're killing it.
I just had to share that with you because it's also my second golf game of the year this year. I barely played, which is bad.
Wow.
Yeah, but these are the things that are important in my life, and I just,
listen,
must
we've
share
all got
them.
Priorities. This is a priority. I love it. Love to hear it.
I love the support. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Should we tell them about who our guest is and how incredible this episode is going to be?
You guys are gonna love Suze, or Susan. I've only met her a handful of times, but she just gives me Suze, so I've rolled with that nickname. But she is a friend of a friend. She is a new freelance marketer. She's got a ton of agency and corporate experience underneath her, and she is just sort of in the midst of reinventing herself as a freelancer, someone setting up her own business and doing it all on her own. And I think from my perspective, we just got off with her, and yeah, she's so articulate, has such a wealth of like confidence and knowledge, that I think if anyone listening is thinking about how to pivot an area of their life or how to inject more creativity into their day-to-day, I think you're going to love this conversation.
Without question. And she's just like the energy this girl exudes.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
Top quality.
She told us that she was a theater kid in high school, and I was like,
all checks out.
That checks out. Yes.
Yeah.
She's a delight. Please let us know what you think.
Yeah, enjoy, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye. All right. Hello, everyone. We are joined today by mutual friend Suze. She is a marketer. She's got experience in the agency side. She's got a lot of experience in corporate life. And she's actually just set out to sort of do something really new and exciting. So we want to talk to her today about what life after corporate looks like. Suze, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yay!
We're
so
so
excited.
excited. I was just
Yeah.
gushing to Susan before we started about how much I'm obsessed with her TikTok right now.
Oh my God. Yeah. I want to understand how you landed on. Are you talking about how you're doing the like building a product by using Notion and ChatGPT?
Just like everything.
Everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that one. I found fascinating.
Thank you.
I would love to understand how you landed on that. But before we do that, you want to tell people a
Yeah.
little bit about who you are?
For sure. So, yeah, like you said, Meg, my name is Susan. Suze, many a nickname throughout the universe. I've been in marketing my whole career. There isn't an industry I haven't touched, is what I usually say in both job interviews and chatting with folks like yourself. I started an agency. I think it was the best thing that I ever did for my career. I worked in sports and entertainment for a minute. I've done the whole corporate thing. But for one reason or another, this fall has just been the launch into self-employment and trying to build my own company. I've always had the entrepreneur bone in my body, so I'm very glad to like finally be able to honor that side of myself with like truly not much anxiety and just diving headfirst into it.
When you say,
Sorry, go ahead, Meg.
no, go ahead, Chloe.
I was going to say, what's the transition been like for you over the last few months from transitioning from corporate into doing your own thing and finally biting the bullet on that?
I honestly thought I was going to be way more nervous than I have been. I think like the first week was a lot of processing, just like leaving behind 9 to 5, whatever you have to say about it, like it's a schedule, right? And we're humans and we
Yeah.
need routine. And I'm sure much like we all felt when we left grade 12 and went into a university schedule, like it was definitely not jarring in a negative way, just like a brief flip. But I'm organized and I'm still trying to figure out what my own self-employed routine looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But like beyond that first week, like there's certainly been moments of doubt. But you know, my friends, my husband, like the village has been there and everyone's just been such a champion that I think like I just am of the mindset right now that I have nothing to lose. And so I'm going to just throw myself into this and see what happens. And so I'm really just trying to remain like super optimistic. And I don't think that's been a chore. Like I think there's been some stressful moments. Like I, for some reason, just couldn't send a USD invoice to save my life one day. And I was like, this is my only paying client right now. And the client was like, your invoice just isn't working. And I was like, I know, I must be the dumbest person alive right now. Like I was just so stressed and I was gonna be like, I guess the work's for free. But like, you know what I mean? I figured it out. But I literally had to sit.
You're like, it's so awkward that like, I just don't even at this point. Yeah, it's just free.
Yeah,
it's just free.
Like I had truly sent them 5 invoices, and every time they came back, they're like, "Hey, man, it's still wrong." And I was like, "Brilliant." But I figured out what went wrong. Like the tool was doing the conversion incorrectly, etc.
Not you. It was on the tool. Not you.
It was the tool. Yes,
Technology.
it was the tool. But like I literally was like, I guess I'm just not solving this problem. Like I truly was just like, this isn't solvable. But then I was like, no, like, what are you gonna do? Not get paid? And I just like sat there for probably 20 minutes being like, well, I can figure this out. Like I can truly figure it out. And I did, and it was fine. So I think, you know, to your question, Nicole, it's that. And I'm sure there's going to be many more moments of not being able to send an invoice in USD, but like, you know, I saw a TikTok yesterday where it's something like I'd rather choose this as my hard than where I was just feeling in 9 to 5. And so I'm going to choose this. I think like from what my husband and I have discussed, like we're going to give it a year. And if it doesn't work out, like 9 to 5's still there. They're not going to reject me just because I did my own
No.
thing.
Well, I think the like concept of like you've got nothing left to lose, so why not? It's like equal parts terrifying, but also so freeing at the same time because you're like, it is now or like
Yeah.
never.
Yeah, that's really how I felt. Like I said, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always had side hustles. And you know, like they've come and gone, some years nothing, some others, but like I have gone through so many notebooks of all of these just like brilliant ideas, and like some of them have fizzled out because like maybe they weren't so brilliant. But it's like, you know, I'm tinkering around building a website for like a company that doesn't exist. Like I just feel like this is in my core. Like I need to follow it through. Because like truly, if not now, then when? Like, you know, I know I'll turn 40 and have not done it. And I could do it then. I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
And why, like you said, you've always had sort of the entrepreneurial bone in your body. Like what, like you talked a little bit about tinkering and side hustles. Like, do you know exactly where that comes from? Like what is that urge?
Yeah, great question. Both my parents were entrepreneurs.
Okay.
They both had their own business. And I do really believe in that sentiment that like you are what you grow up around. Like I think it takes a certain type of person to really go beyond their environment. So I think like I saw it was possible for them. And then like I've always had a huge creative streak, and it's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur.
True.
And there's so many tools to figure it out and like troubleshoot your issues, how to send USD invoices, you know, like there's many people there that are able to help you solve your problem without paying them a dime. And I think you know, it probably came from being able to see my parents live their entrepreneur life. But I've always been fascinated by people who are able to start their own company and those journeys and just what that's looked like. And I'm very headstrong. And I think too, there's just that realization of where like, I don't know if attitudinally I'm what corporate would like. And like, I think we need to honor that. I've had great bosses. Like I truly have had great experiences in the corporate world. But you guys work in marketing. I think you can appreciate like the different genomes of an agency marketer versus corporate versus whatever. And I'm grateful for all my experiences. Like they're going to carry me really far. But I just don't know if fighting to become a big corporation CMO, like I could do it. I don't know if they want me to do it, you know? Like I think it would have been like such an uphill battle. Because I like to just fail forward, fail fast. And like most big corporations are risk adverse. Like there's just that push pull. And I think like I was texting one of my best friends about this, where it's just like, I think we need to honor that like maybe it's just not for me and I'm not for them. And like, that's fine.
How did you come to that realization though? Because like, I don't think many people are that self-aware to even look at their environment and be like, you know what, this is just not for my personality and not where I'm going to thrive.
I have always, so in agency, being innovative, being creative, like bull by horns, etc. metaphors, that was so respected, right? And I grew up a theater kid. So chatting to huge rooms of clients and whatever, like none of that scared me. And I think for better, for sure, but for worse later on in life, like joining agency right out of the gate in my career set this false expectation of like my personality type thriving in any workplace, because I was just like, oh, I'm 22. You want me to talk to clients I've never met before? Like, this is no big deal. And like, it was so celebrated. Versus in the corporate world, like there's a different expectation. There's the hierarchy. Like you can't just chat in any room. And I do respect that. And I think you need that because otherwise it would be anarchy, right? Like 25,000 people organizations. You can't just have like agency people like Wild Westing it every single day. But the feedback that I used to get that was so positive in agency became the negative feedback in corporate.
Interesting. Which was what?
I take up too much space. Yeah.
And how was that showing itself? Like, was it literally like being the loudest person in the room? Was it like asking too many questions? Like, what did that look like in corporate life?
Both of those things. You nailed it. In like one of my utmost favorite managers I've ever had, and any future manager, sorry, you'll probably be second. Like he still to this day will be like, always stay curious. Like, because I just have no shame. Like if I have a question, I'm gonna ask it. Like I'm sure many people think that ChatGPT is available because me and ChatGPT are yapping all day. But in like the flip side of that, I think people want curiosity, but like sometimes you just need to like deliver the brief or whatever it is. And like they'd made the decision eons ago, it was going to be the way it was.
Yeah.
And you can't change that. And like, I get it, right? Like you have a P&L, you have deliverables that have gone to a board, etc. But I think like the agility is part of what I believe to be my superpower. And I think, you know, if I find myself back in a large corporation, it'll be a very different genome because I think they do exist. But, you know, I just refuse to believe that what was such positive feedback in some workplaces was like neutral to negative in others. And I think to go to your root question, Nicole, like that self-awareness, I was just like, that's fine. Like, you don't have to take everyone's feedback.
No.
And I won't.
Yeah,
but
that's
not
a really
everyone
good
knows,
point.
and not everyone knows how to do that.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think even large corporate is also so different to smaller
100%.
companies and medium. Like field wise, you and I are very similar, I think, in a lot of ways, and like very formal, traditional industries.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I work for a very small company, so that fail fast mentality still does exist in some capacity. But yeah.
Yeah. And so I think there is just a little bit of all of that. And there's parts of me that do like it. Like I truly love nothing more than a 3-piece suit. Like, oh, little blazer matching set. Like, oh, come at me, you know? Yes, right? Like there's elements of it that I like. And
Could never be me.
Yeah, I saw the shirt you got your promotion announcement in. But I also like to be able to show up in just a tee on a call. And I think like that inflexibility, I understand why it's there because again, you have to unite the masses against like a clear company mandate or whatever it is. But I just think like at this season in my life and where I'm at, it's just not what I want right now. It's what I wanted 3 years ago. And I needed, but I don't know, time to jump.
I'm really curious. Yeah, you really are. And this is so cool. And we haven't had anyone on the pod actually talk about this, like, I guess maybe your priorities with your career shifting in this season of life and what that actually means. And I kind of want to dig into that, this idea of like, when you say at this, you know, in this season, it's not what I want anymore. What is this season? And how did you sort of come to the realization that actually this isn't working for me?
So when I started an agency, like my job was my personality, you know, like I think we can all relate to that in a little bit where if you were lucky enough to like really find like group of friends, right? When you were in office 9 to 5, 5 days a week, like your pod, the people you literally sat with, like I still have a group chat called the pod. I have not worked with these people for like 7, 8, 9 years. We see each other every quarter, whatever. And you know, I took breaks. I changed. I worked for some remarkable brands because that's what I wanted. Like that season of my career, I think required a little more ego, clout. I don't know what it was. And then after,
I think when you, sorry to interrupt you, I think when you grow up thinking about marketing and brand work, the idea of working for like a sexy brand, I mean, that's the dream, right?
That is the dream. Yeah. And, I really like to challenge myself. And with that has come a lot of opportunity and like a lot of not fitting into many rooms. But the season of life that I think I was in up until maybe like this year, mid-year, I was so burnt from like running that agency race, working in incredibly fast-paced organizations, managing massive teams, that going to corporate was perfect for that season. Like we just moved, we'd had we were on a variable mortgage that was threatening, like all of these things. So that season of life where I was just like a little crispy, and needed financial stability and calmness, and like we had a dog and being here, there, and everywhere for travel for work. Like I just didn't want any of that anymore. But I think I like came out on the other side of it, like refreshed, rejuvenated. And where I'm at in this season is I do want to go back to where I'm excited to chat about work every day, because it's the thing we do the most every day. And so I think like that's the seed that got planted. And my husband's in a very different field, but like he's kind of found his beat of where like he's so jacked of every day to go to work. Like man is skipping out the door, whistling, like, and I'm just like, wow, like that was me. And it's never not been me. I've truly never disliked any job I've had because I just don't think that's productive. But like I wanted to be obsessed. I want to work on cool shit. I want to like be excited when there's a girls' night and drinks getting together, and it's also like, how's work? Oh, good, meet mer, and like you move on because there's just not much to genuinely say. Like I want to have a portfolio that's my legacy. And also I think the season of life that I'm in, like I'm a bit chaotic in my thinking and my passions. But I think that can serve me and others well. And like going back to the notebooks, like I reference them because they're literally over there. But it's like, I would rather try 7 things at once. Something's going to stick really well and do it. Because I just feel like I'm, going back to the suits, like that's great. But maybe I'm more in like a bike shorts era right now, with just like being squirrely and doing whatever and whatnot. Like it's the first time in my career in many years I don't have a team to manage. Like I'm sure you gals can appreciate, like, man, what a life, no stress.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I love managing people, but it really is so much work.
It
really is.
Yeah. And it is one of my greatest joys. I love being a people manager. And there's no doubt that I'll come back to that. But I think just like the season that I'm in right now, I just want to like really go all in. Like the world's in a weird place. So maybe I should be weird too,
true.
What do you think? Because like what you're doing is just fully reinventing yourself. You're jumping from, point A to point B, and it just feels like you're leaping with such faith. Whereas like for me, maybe Megan a little bit, I like to know everything's gonna be perfect before I take a jump. I overthink everything. And I really admire it. You're just kind of jumping into this. It seems with so much assurance in yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think beyond that holds other people back though from being able to take the leap and reinvent themselves?
I'll answer your question, but I'll actually start with something that you said of just like needing to know it's perfect and the plan's going that way. Like me too. Like I am an overthinker. I am someone who does need to know things are gonna work out. And I think what holds people back is exactly that fear and not having courage. But I think you can mitigate those 2 things. Like if you know yourself and you need a plan, cool, make a plan, man. Like I had spent so many years just fiddling in stuff and Like I really will give credit where credit's due to just the influence that I think TikTok content has had on myself, because people are just explaining how they did it all day, every day, as I aspire to do as well. And so I think there were many years of micro plans and like skills and assets and tools that I accrued. So there are fears. Like a huge one for me is always going to be financial stability. But like there's always going to be fear. There's always a reason to not do anything if you really think about it. And I'm wearing a white shirt. I spill on myself every day, but like I love white. I'm going to keep wearing my white tops. You know what I mean? Like it's such a silly metaphor, but I think I don't know. I just think.
Well, I think you're right there. Well, I actually really like that analogy. But
we're all in white today.
We are. Yeah. We're all asking for it.
We are.
I also think it's a weird time to be in a corporate job too, right? Like it feels like there are less assurances right now because of how economically volatile everything is. Like it doesn't feel like you are, well, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but there feels like it's a bit wobblier, and there's a little bit less stability than maybe we had in the past. And I think, or that we've experienced in our lifetime. And I think that it's an interesting thing. It's interesting to sort of take advantage of that in a way and be like, you know what, like nothing is a sure thing, especially right now. And maybe it's a good time for me to jump feet first into betting on myself and sort of doing my own thing.
Yeah. And that's exactly the conversations I was having with myself and, the community and my friends and everyone. Like, I think economically we're in a weird place. There's a lot of disruption. Like if you can't beat them, join them, And I just come back to like, if not now, then when?
Yeah.
Right? Like, wouldn't it be harder to make this decision if the economy was thriving, the world was super stable, I was VP of whatever, just me and my moats of money around me? Like, that's harder to leave. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, moats of money. I'm using that. I'm stealing it.
Go for it.
I think what you're saying too is so relevant, because one of the things that enabled you to take the leap was the fact that you're financially stable, which as Megan and I were talking about you with you on our pre-call, we're both like, how has she done it? Like neither of us, like we haven't had many money experts on the podcast, because I think it's an area we're avoiding in a lot of ways sometimes. Or maybe I just am, but
no.
Okay, perfect.
You're right. We are.
Yeah. But I think that's such a real thing, right? Having that security and stability is half the battle when it comes to giving yourself confidence to take a leap. So how have you been able to get yourself to that point? Like, what advice would you give to anyone, even if they're in that nice, cozy, stable, secure job right now, if they know maybe their heart's hankering for something else long term? What advice would you give them?
You just have to constantly live below your means. Like, I think there's no other option. Savings have been built into my monthly budget since I was 22. Like, I've always had automatic withdrawals.
So impressive.
And I think there's footnotes that like there were some weeks and months where the savings would go out, we would withdraw from the savings, and like that was just what it was. But it was the habit. Like I'm very big on the habits you form, like predicting your life. But I think if you're in your 20s, live in a basement apartment as long as you physically can. Like we didn't leave basements until we bought our first place. They were great. They were so cute. Like, honestly, I think the basement apartment we left for this like very bizarro condo town we moved into, like, I think it might've been nicer. Like we left our condo town in like 18 months. Like it was not for us. But our rent, we kept exceptionally low. And I recognize that like my partner and I've been together for quite some time. Like we've done it, two incomes and figuring it out. But we've also done it two people who went to university and then decided to go back to school, and two people who started jobs and then knew that money wasn't the objective because there were bigger dreams to go along with it. And I just think my best advice is, if you've got dreams other than like a comfortable, content life, and that's fine too. Like if your dream and you're happy doing that, like please know that that is, like, I think the hustle culture doesn't need to be everyone's objective. Like my husband and I used to always joke when we were living in our first basement apartment, like, is it a week we could afford the guac? You know, like that was like what, $4 probably back then. But like some weeks it wasn't, and was fine. He was in school full time. I think my salary was $32,000 a year. And I was like, we're really living like kings, aren't we? In this base, like we were just like so proud to be living where we were. But I think to set yourself up, if you want to make the leap, and if you are a planner and like risk adverse, I identify as those things. Yeah. Then fine. It just takes longer. Like I really don't like when, you know, you see all the big wigs and like entrepreneurs that, well, if you didn't do it in your 20s, you're certainly not going to do it when you're 30. And you're like, mate, what if they had bills to pay? Like, and so I just think it's like, however you can save, you never know when you're going to need it for whatever the dream is. If the dream is starting your own thing or upgrading your house, or the car breaks, like the rainy day will come. Mine did. And now, like, I'm so grateful for how diligent we were and I was with my savings in my 20s, because it's like, I'll be fine. I have a year like to figure it out. And then like, I'm gonna, you know, obviously I'm gonna get boatloads of clients as I become a freelance marketing consultant and whatever. Like, but if not, then I'm also not like driving my home into ruin, you know, like the dog's not going to be destitute on the street.
Well, what advice would you give to someone? Maybe they're not at the point where they're like ready to throw in and just give everything to their new dream. They feel a little bit financially stuck, but they want to maybe start edging into entrepreneurialism or more creative outlets or new seasons. What advice would you give to that person?
Networking is free. Like if you're cash strapped, and I think everyone is, at some point in your life, it is free to have a chat with anyone. Most networking events are free. And again, like I've always just been so curious, and I have no shame. Like I will connect with any CEO on any platform, anywhere. And I'm just like, hey, Dave, like and I'm just like, I message a million people all the time. And you know what? They reply, like not all the time. But I think like if someone just doesn't quite know where they want to go or what they want to do, or they're curious, I think there's an art to a good coffee chat. Like I've been on the end of poor coffee chats of people who like, I don't know what magic rabbit they thought was coming out of it. But you're only going to figure it out. You're only going to find the courage, I think, through others if you can't find it in yourself, by hearing about it. Because if you're an overthinker, if you're someone who needs a plan, I think ultimately that just says to me, like, we need validation. We need to know that someone else has done it before us. So go find those answers. Like, I think I've truly been doing that for years.
What is the secret to a good coffee chat?
What is the secret to a good coffee chat? It starts with how you ask for it. Mm-hmm. Don't just ask for a coffee chat. What do you want from me? You know what I mean? Like, I think be specific with your ask. Why this person versus someone else? So, you know, if you're reaching out to any one of us marketing leaders, why me versus Megan versus Nicole? What about it are you hoping to learn or chat about? Then that person can say yes or no based off of whatever that is. And they can at least come to the conversation knowing that you are hoping to learn about, my experience transitioning from social media marketing into brand marketing. Great. Like, let's talk about that. I think a lot of people think like networking is just crossing your fingers and hoping one day this person will refer you to a job. And like, same, like there is an element of that, but like, let's have an interesting 25 to 30-minute discussion about something. And then I think when you get there, like, do your research and truly ask questions that are more than just like, tell me about your career. Like just get
I think
specific.
it's like seeking to understand, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to like what you said of, crossing your fingers and hoping that at some point this is going to become a job. Like I think the ones that are successful that I've been on like someone's asked me if they could learn something from me, I can tell that they actually want to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it lines up with what you're saying perfectly.
Yeah. Like I think the art of a great coffee chat starts with how you actually even ask for it in the first place. Be specific. What do you genuinely think this person can answer for you versus anyone else? And then when you get in the room, like virtual, I would say is likely the first room any of us are in, like continue that specificity. What is it that you saw in that person that made you reach out, that made you ask, and then go from there? Because the general isn't serving any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about like practically how you're making this work in your life right now, because there's a couple things I'm thinking about. You strike me, we've met a few times. You strike me as a very extroverted person. So you sort of get your energy from people and good conversation. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's how I sort of experience meeting you. And then also you strike me as you said you like habits and like forming routine. So how are you finding creating your own routine and also like working on your own? Like how are you building, I guess, structure and other people, other humans into your day?
Yeah. And like I would self-describe as an extroverted introvert because I do need my full solitary time. But I'm not shy. And I think if you want to go out on your own, you can't be shy. You can like be a shy person or be an introverted individual, but you have to get over that. Like again, like have no shame. So I think that's the first thing. And then as far as the routine goes, like I truly have a habit tracker. Like I'm that nerd. Like I've got little boxes I fill in. There's 9 of them this month. And I need that to keep myself honest because I am so squirrely and like I will start boiling eggs and then we're doing laundry and I'm like, wait, I didn't walk the dog. Oh, I did. Okay, should I call my friend? Like if I don't have some form of like physical, it needs to be analog. It can't be digital. Like I would never work out or do anything, that I say I will do. A hair mask once a week, whatever. Like it's truly, I'm a toddler and I'm giving myself stars on a chart, like every day kind of thing.
I love that.
Yeah. Just give me the graham cracker, teddy bear graham cracker. I'm good to go. But I think like the routine is still in flux. I still need to figure it out because my routine in many jobs I've had is wake up early and work on the side hustles, then do the 9 to 5. I don't need to do that anymore because whatever hours of the day I'm working in theory are the side hustle components that I had always wanted to work on. And so now I'm trying to switch the gears and like, maybe I'm like reading a little book in the morning and like, isn't that a delight? But it's breaking that habit, right? Like, cause I used to wake up, walk the dog, work out, do those kind of health and wellness type of things. And then I try and like crack on to whatever the passion project was in a moment, sprint through that, and then like hop on for the first, call, meeting, whatever it was of the day. That was a great habit. Like it served me really well. Look where I am now. But now that doesn't need to be the habit because whenever I log on, it's going to be the passion projects. So I should read my book, right? Like, but it's just rewiring my brain that way a little bit. And I think, the structure and routine's still in flux. And I'm texting a lot of friends throughout the day. Like one of them was like, oh, you sound busy. I'll leave you to it. I was like, truly, please don't leave me to anything. Like, Yeah.
I love that though. I feel like there's nothing. I love what you talked about. The like gold stars and graham cracker for your rewards.
Yeah.
Like there's truly nothing that gets me off more than like my Google Calendar being set up for the day, but I actually follow the entire thing to a T
Yeah.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day. It's a
Yeah.
weird little gets me
Absolutely.
going.
Absolutely. Meetings starting and ending on time. Whew.
Or early.
Even better.
Oh,
Even better.
best.
Yeah. Like going back to coffee chats, if someone sends me a 25 coffee chat minute invite, I'm like, girl, you are one of us.
Yes.
Say less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. One of the things that struck me, so I've never met you until we had our
virtual
initial
pals.
intro. Yes, but I feel like I know you already, and part of that is
Thank
your
you.
energy and that theater kid vibe and energy that comes. It just exudes from you in a very, very clear way, which means to me that you've very clearly always had a creative streak, right? And sometimes in corporate that gets snuffed out, even if you're working in marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
how have you used this journey to reconnect with your creativity? And what advice would you give to other people who want to do the same?
That's a great question. I think like a few years ago when I first got on TikTok, because I was working in marketing, I have worked in social media for many brands throughout my whole career, always behind the scene. And because of that, the idea of running any social media platform beyond like my private Instagram where it's just like vacation photos, I
Yeah.
just couldn't, like I don't know, I had like this huge barrier. I was like, I'm
I
not
get
gonna
it.
do that. Right? Like to take that on. But I think just like as you grow in your career, like other people get the creative projects as they should, and you're more leading the group. So it really called to me to do it. And again, like I think it's just a little bit of having no shame. And I was like, it's going to be cringe. People will watch or won't. Like it's whatever. Um,
It is really hard though. Like,
it
I want
is.
to underscore that. Like when we started our podcast, even
Yeah,
it felt so cringy to be like,
totally.
okay, we are going to talk to each other, because we didn't have guests at that point. A lot of like it
Yeah,
was just the two of us, and it is really, really hard to be like,
yeah,
and it's with
Yeah.
your friends and family, right? To be like,
totally.
oh, they're gonna see me on TikTok or they're gonna hear
Yeah,
me, in
yeah,
their Spotify feed or whatever.
yeah.
So good job for putting yourself out there because it is
Thank
tough.
you. And good job to you, gals. And I think it just, comes back to like, if you really want to do something, just like overcome the embarrassment or the cringe. Do it with cringe. Like, who cares?
Acknowledge the
Well, it's
cringe.
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
look at all the creators that you love, it was cringe until they got their break. It was
Exactly.
cringe until they
100%.
went viral, right? Like
Totally.
you don't get those breaks and that momentum and that recognition and that sort of audience without having to put yourself out there first.
It's also
Absolutely.
only cringe for the people that know you. Like, you're not
100%. It's not
cringing.
strangers.
You're not
For
cringing about
sure.
strangers consuming your TikTok. You're cringing at like your dad. I mean, my dad's
Yeah.
not on TikTok, but or
Yeah.
like, your
Friends
friend's
and
boyfriend, like
Yeah.
seeing
yeah.
you on TikTok. And who gives a fuck? Those people love you anyways, right? Hopefully, if
For
they're good
sure.
people, they would embrace it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so I think Nicole, like the creativity part started reignited a while ago. And it's, I don't know, it's just testing and learning. And I think, there's moments in the day where you got to like put a sow together and a contract, and like that's a wee bit boring. But then also maybe you like film a silly video, or you're ideating for a client on their own social media or marketing campaign. Like I think it's the ebbs and flows, but
Yeah.
like I'm reaching way back. Like I'm truly probably like I was 17 years old, and you got to figure out what you want to do into university. And I think it was one of my aunts or uncles said that like, because I was in drama at the arts high school. My brother was in music, and she was just saying like, the only way forward using these skills isn't using these skills. Like I don't need to be an actor to still feel like a theater kid.
Yeah.
And what good advice that is, because I think it just opens up like worlds of possibilities. If you like and
Totally.
you feel confident chatting to people, marketing pitches was a perfect fit for me. You know, like it worked out well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. I know we're almost at time, but I do want to ask you about one, how you're hoping to get clients. Like, is TikTok sort of
Yeah.
your channel that you are leaning into? Are you, as you said, networking's free. Like, are you really big on networking right now? So yeah, let's start there. How are you
Yeah,
hoping
for
to grow your
sure.
business?
So my goal is to be a marketing consultant, and I have different services and offerings that I enjoy doing, and that's, what I'm packaging up for different brands or clients.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I don't know what luck I fell into. People have kind of just come to me as they've discovered I've been doing marketing
That's awesome.
freelancing because we worked together in the past or whatever it was. I've done a little bit of my own lead generation, asking people questions. My focus right now, though, is building out my portfolio. And so, I was chatting with a not-for-profit Friday. I said I could donate a couple hours a month to them. They're in like a really neat space that I just think would be like a cool project. So I think it's a good investment of my time to like meet all these new people and then figure out a whole new problem, expose myself to a whole new industry I've never been a part of. I would love if TikTok gave me clients. Currently, it is not, and that's fine. Like I had to stop, or I stopped TikTok for a while, and I just came back like 3 weeks ago, and so I'm like being punished by the algorithm. And the algorithm changed, and I went from being kind of like corporate girly content to a myriad of other topics, and the algorithm doesn't like when you do that. So I need, I think there's a world in where I hope one day like someone sends me a DM or sees my LinkedIn bio and wants me to be someone they want to work with. But like I don't think that's reasonable to think of right now. So it is just networking and figuring out like who I need to reach out to, who in my network can I chat with. Like that's going to be a big goal of November. A couple clients have come along right now from just the previous networking I did, meeting people who needed people. So that's great. And then a big focus for me is setting up like the operations. Like I've had 3 or 4 clients come through, but like I don't know how to set up a SAL. Like I know notionally how to set it up, but for me, myself and I have to do that. And it comes back to planning. Like I want to make sure that when I get those clients, I have everything. Like I've been a part of many agency pitches, have never done one myself. And when you leave agency, you lose behind all their beautiful decks. And the deck designer had built you a wonderful thing that you just had to like type headlines into. So me and Canva yesterday, I was just like, please help me make a pitch. I need an RFP template. Yeah,
shout out
right.
to Canva. It's unbelievable.
Shout out to Canva. But again, there's so many tools that are free or relatively inexpensive if you're willing to invest in yourself. And so the goal is to maintain my current lifestyle by being a marketing consultant, freelancing, quasi like agency of my own, I guess. But I'm more looking for like one-to-one business. Like how can I lead those brands? Because they don't need a full-time like VP marketer or whatever the case might be, and just work on interesting projects. Because like that's why I don't want to rush back to a 9 to 5 to just keep paying the bills. Like hopefully I can pay the bills, grow a portfolio, and work on really cool projects, work with really cool people. Because I loved that about agency, having so many different clients. So we're kind of like, back in that season. How do we figure that out? And yeah, if TikTok comes along the way with that, cool. But now I would say it's more just about advice and like very, very, very light vlogging, just what am I talking about? Like kind of whatever pops into my head. I think as like a marketing strategist, I'm sure I would have advice to give myself on the many like things that I am doing incorrectly, but like, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. It can be chaotic. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect.
Of course. And like, even when we set up a TikTok, I mean, I work at B2B and we set up a TikTok and I was like, just like the person who handles our social, I was like, just go like play,
Yeah.
like have fun. Like it doesn't need to be serious. Like, I just want you to like
No.
learn how it all works. And this was obviously, a couple of years ago, but I think the same thing holds true for what you're doing, right? Like if you find that something really resonates, even in terms of like your niche as a marketing strategist or as a
Yeah.
freelancer, you can kind of lean into that.
For sure. And like I always just joke, like if I'm the only one watching my content and I'm like giggling and having a good time, like that's fine too, and like it is a little bit about building that personal brand and just all of those things. But I think like there's no world in where it won't become something bigger because like it's a volumes game, right? Like content's a
Yeah.
volumes game, and potentially maybe that just becomes something bigger at some point.
I love it.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
That love's weird. Love it.
Oh, we're both in this. We are sharing a brainwave today, or a brain cell, if you will.
We're sharing one brain cell between the two of us.
A communal brain
Yeah.
cell.
Okay, so what has been the best gift that this like new season of your life or this like reinvention season has given you? Like and maybe something that surprised you.
The best gift and something that
Oh, I was even
has.
thinking like the gift, like what about the gift surprised you maybe? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
gotcha.
you might, someone might think like, oh, you can read in the morning. But has there been anything that's really surprised you that's been a gift about, leaving your 9 to 5?
I think just how many people have truly gone out of their way to say how proud they are of what I've done.
Oh,
That's so
Like
I
I,
love
heartwarming.
that.
I think, like, because I'm not an individual who needs that per se, or like have a hard time going out of my way to ask for it. But so many people have gone out of their way to say it to me. And I think because I know that this is really what I should be doing right now,
Right.
that like other folks' opinions like haven't weighed in. I like, as I had such a strong conviction, this was the direction I needed to head. But so many people have just asked so many questions and truly said the words like, I'm so proud of you and what you've done, and the courage you've taken. Like what a gift for them to say that to me.
I don't think people realize the fuel that positive
Yeah.
reinforcement and affirmation really does to a person. Like when we get messages especially from people we don't know about the pod,
Oh my God.
it like makes our entire week. And it's just
Absolutely.
like
I'll
exactly
like go back and reread them.
Yeah.
Like,
For
because it's like,
sure.
wow, you're recognizing that like we're trying this thing that feels hard.
Yeah.
And in your world, like you can have all the conviction in the world, but it's still scary to be doing something
Absolutely.
completely new. So having that is so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think because it's such a scary thing to do with no true backup, I'm not doing this in tandem of a 9 to 5.
Right.
People reassuring that choice, you're like, oh, thank God. Because like I think I'm doing okay, but other people think too. And I think that is also a surprise. Not that I would doubt my friends would go out of their way to share positive affirmations. Like, Megan, the girls. Like, we're out there.
Yeah.
Like, snaps for breathing, whatever you've done that day. Like, we are here to be your biggest fans.
Suze's friends are like a hype squad. If
Yeah,
I've ever
like
seen one.
whatever you need hype about, we're here for it. But like I just think it's taken me quite a while to accept like the help and support from a village or even reach out. Like I don't like who knows why. But like I've got a couple friends on mat leave right now. I don't have kids. and like I'm preparing some business documents to send to new clients. And I'm like, I just need you to read this and make sure like I haven't like sloppily like smashed the keyboard in typing. And they're not in business, but like they're literate and very smart women. And I would love someone to give me the confidence boost and be like, yeah, girl, like you don't have typos and whatever.
Great. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I think it's just, like just using your village, and then they see what you're doing, and like isn't that a great conversation as well? And like just they give you the boost, and like maybe they don't say anything about it either, but they're just like, yep, no typos, and you're like, well, that's good, I can write, feeling groovy, I shall send this. Yeah, tis a win. And they like, no, everyone has always said something more, but I think like, like however you can compliment someone from a genuine place of something they're doing is so nice. And like, it's just been, I think, one of the most positive months of the year for me, when it should be so devastating having removed the stability of 9 to 5. Not devastating, I guess that's the wrong word. Just, like destabilizing perhaps.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's so nice too to get that reinforcement, because when we were talking about the cringe, nothing beats the cringe faster than someone telling you they love what you're doing.
Yeah. And I think too, it also is such a good antidote to the perfectionism.
Yes.
Like I don't have a company name right now. I don't have brand colors. I don't have fonts with, obviously, I think just like, as marketers, you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. But like, I've just like picked 3 colors, and I'm like, font be damned. And the name is Susan and my last name. And like, if this goes well, I'll figure out a name later, kind of thing. And people are like, this looks like a really legitimate document. I'm like, thank you. Me and Canva built it 20 minutes ago, and we are now very official together.
I'm just picturing the name Susan as like a logo, and it's kind of cool.
And that is, you've nailed it. That is it. Like, Canva was like, could I interest you in like some little swirly graphic beside your name? I was like, girl, you can. Please put it on there. And I was like, and the color will be yellow. Yeah. But I think, it's just people, I think you can't underestimate sharing your journey with your village, because, if they don't say anything good, shit, you're in the wrong village, time to move. But like, presuming you're in a right village, they're gonna be so interested in what you're doing. And like, full circle to one of the original questions of just like, how do I know that this is the season? Like, I spent a couple years like barely talking about my job, and that was fine. But like, I just want to be so interested in what I'm doing again. And people are interested in what I'm doing again because I'm interested, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
I love that. We always end with a question for all of our guests that we love very much. And that is, what does living well in your 30s mean for you?
What does living well in my 30s mean to me? I think it's just be really honest with yourself about what you want.
Yeah.
And the rest will follow, right? Like, I think if you can have that clarity or put in the work to have that clarity, you're gonna go so far. And I think I'll count my blessings that I did spend probably a lot of my earlier 30s like building a really good foundation, that like, as much as days are really busy now or unpredictable timing wise, I don't need to sacrifice other elements of what living well needs to me because it's so ingrained in what I do, right? Like, I'm not feeling too chaotic to work out or eat healthy and all those things. And I think if you can find that foundation in your 30, that's your baseline of what living well means to you, and then add on the additions of what living well means to you. And you only know that because you are just honest with who you are and what you want in that moment, and then give yourself permission to change your mind next month. Like, that's fine.
I love it.
Great.
No notes.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing, Suze.
This has been so inspiring. Like
Oh, thank you.
I really do resonate with this idea that we spend so much time doing our job. And I think as you get older, there's just an assumption that like we don't have to care as much about the work we do. Like it feels like, I don't know. I think this conversation has just made me reflect on like how important it is to enjoy what you're doing on a daily basis and to be excited about it. And I think that as you get older, people seem to focus less on that, or people are less bothered by people not liking it because, you know, they're like, your job shouldn't be your most important thing. But if you love work and you want it to be one of the most important things, like prioritizing whether or not you're enjoying yourself on a day-to-day basis is like so important.
Yeah. And I just, you know, I don't want to be resigned to a future because like nothing's been written yet.
Yeah.
And you know, work is work, but I just think if you're doing something neat and interesting and following your gut on side quests and like all of that, it's just more like it's living well. It's a more like fuller life.
Thank you so much. This has been really great. Where can people find you?
Where can people find me? TikTok? Do you guys do the link below?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
do a link.
okay. We can do a link. And otherwise, like, yeah, just I'll see you popping up in the FYP and go from there.
Love it. Thank
love
you,
it.
Suze.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you
us.
guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.